I am live tonight. Hope you are all having. Yeah, okay, I cannot sing worth for shit. How's it going, everybody? I am live with you. I have energy randomly right now, and I don't understand why I'm singing. But yeah, so anyways, I'm live. There's some interesting stuff coming down the pipeline, and I've talked about some of this before, but some of it's new. So I'm running out of content, honestly, to film on YouTube. I'm trying to figure out some stuff, and I might have an opportunity to do something, maybe in the next, few days, potentially. I got to talk with my buddy. Uh, can't think of his name. Braden. There we go. The one that bought my old Capri. Now it's interesting because he is actually like that Capri. Unfortunately, driving it through the winter rotted the thing a lot more. Like there's a lot more rust on the doors, as an example. There is more rust around the quarter panels and stuff, and it is really bad. Apparently, like in the Edmonton area, they're using this sort of like compound that is rotting out cars badly. Sulfurium chloride or something like that, or something like that. I can't remember the exact name. Somebody told me it earlier, and it's not good, right? So it's been rotting out cars like absolute mad, and I don't really understand it. So, and why they're still using it, I don't know. But anyways, so I am now like actively trying to find him a taillight for that car because his lens flew off on the highway now, and I told him to reseal that taillight because I knew I didn't do that good of a job trying to seal it. But he didn't listen to me. So, in case of point, he lost his lens. But, because all he needed to do is take it apart, get some butyl rubber, would have cost him maybe $20. And now instead, this is going to cost him $300 or so, or more. Might even cost him $400 to get some lights for his car. But it gets me an interesting opportunity. So, I have been meaning to get back down to Flatlaw Auto Wrecking. If you guys remember, that is a big yard out in Tilly, Alberta, that does, like, they have a ton of classic cars, right? And I only really filmed the Fords there, like a couple of GMs and a very few of the Mopars. But this time around, I would like to go there, pick out a couple of sets of head or tail lights, and out of the Capris, and maybe grab some other Capri stuff. I don't really know exactly what all I would do, but if I do that, I can sell him a set of tail lights, or even just sell him one. And then I keep 3. That doesn't really bother me any. And then it'd be easier for shipping too, honestly, if I just sold him one. But anyways, so get down there, do another video, and those videos typically do like, and with that yard, that is my most viewed video on here. Now, excluding short videos, because there is one short that I have that actually has more views than that, but that video has over 30,000 views. And so I do actually want to, like I said, get back down there, do another video of the yard, but do the entire yard, not just the forts. And I can get down there, and I would just have to leave like really early in the morning, sort of idea. But it's only like a 3-hour drive, so it's not too bad, right? I just need to get down there with my tools, and then see what I can find, and start pulling, a couple of sets of taillights, hopefully. And then he said, like, my buddy did say, rain sometimes no worky. But he said that he would actually pay for my fuel going down there. And he said about like $200, which to be honest, I don't think it'll cost me $200 to drive there and back. But I will take that because also then that helps me like buy food and anything else I might need along the way. So win. And then he'd have to pay, for the light and stuff, right? Hey, sometimes I can be really good and my brain no worky, and then or my brain work, and then other times it not so much. It goes back and forth. But yeah. Appreciate the compliment though there, Anthony. Not that I've ever heard somebody say that I should be a teacher. That is an interesting one. I have heard that people want to hear my voice with commentaries and with reading books and stuff. Interestingly, I've gotten some weird requests, to be honest, to use my voice for some things. Nothing that really paid me very much, though. So that's why I said no to any of those. But yeah, so this would be a great opportunity for me to get down there and like I said, do another video. And plus, I can talk to that guy with the awesome Mopars and stuff. That's down there in Tilly, right? It'd be great. Sports commentary would be right up my alley. Oh yeah, it would, because here's the thing, I love hockey, 100%. I'm a huge hockey fan, and even today I was watching the Calgary Flames on their pitiful performance against Carolina, and that was awful watching that game, but it's okay. They ended up losing that game. The first period they had 0 shots, even as an example. Not great, but yeah. And even watching the Four Nations and watching McDavid score that overtime goal was just amazing watching that, and very much 2010 Olympic gold medal Sidney Crosby goal, because genuinely it was an identical goal. It's just it was wasn't Jerome McGinley passing it to Sidney Crosby, instead it was Mitch Marner passing it to McDavid, but genuinely identical spots. So it was cool. Ah, you're from Montreal. Cool. Oh yeah, Four Nations was incredible, honestly, and I loved watching that. And who knows, maybe I don't know if I'll do any sports sort of commentating. Maybe in the future we'll have to see. Hi, Barbie. I am not Barbie because I don't have everything. Wait, why did the road cross the chicken and didn't roads can walk? Oh, that's a terrible dad joke. Terrible dad joke, but it's okay. Hey, it's Cat at a midnight hour. Well, it's here it's not quite midnight. It's not even 11 o'clock yet, but I understand that a lot of my viewers are East, and holy crow, we have 41 viewers on a random. What is tonight? Sunday night. There we go. So yeah. Anyways, but it will be interesting though. So stay tuned, because I might have a big Junkyard tour coming soon. So you could have said so far, Dan. It was a dad joke. It was a dad joke. That's what that was. It was great, but it was a dad joke, clearly. I'm not from Calgary, actually. I live in a small town called Sundre. It's not too far from Calgary. It's about an hour and a half, depending on where you're going in said Calgary. And that's true, Kevin. You are in Texas, but also bear in mind, Texas is in 3 different time zones, if I remember correctly. So there's that. At least 2, but I'm pretty sure it's 3. But yeah. Apparently, cool. But yeah, so that would be fun. And then once I get back up here, I'll have Capri lights to put in the stitch. But then that's going to be the interesting thing, though, is putting these Capri lights in the stitch. Do I really want to do that? I mean, I do, but at the same time, it's my lovely badge. Now, granted, I can take the 3M tape off of it, reapply some 3M two-sided tape, or even use my Gorilla Tape. It would work just fine. And put it, let's say, on the trunk lid or something. But then I would paint my trunk lid, which I don't know. Also, something that I've been thinking about doing, because I've been getting sick and tired of the negative comments on TikTok about how I should get a paint job and my car's a piece of shit because it doesn't have a good paint job. I have thought about like, giving it one. But not like a... This would be a down and dirty paint job. It wouldn't be anything too fancy, to be honest. But I could do it. Like, the thing is, I just need to have a few days of where it's going to be nice weather, right? You know? What am I driving? So I drive a 1981 Ford Mustang. I also have an 82. But the thing is, my 82 is actually going to be sold relatively soon, and I'll just have the 81. I also have the 78 Thunderbird that is kicking about, too. But that's not really my car, though, to be fair. To be fair. Let's see. What engine would I choose, to, if any, to put into the Fox body? So if I had... I'm trying to think of what I would do. Like, if I had just, like, an unlimited budget, like, would I go with a Barra? I don't know if I would. Like, the thing is, I wouldn't go V8. It would be inline 6. So it would either be messing around with, like, an Australian or a Brazilian block, you know, 250 or 221, and then building that, or it'd be a Barra. One of the two. I wouldn't use an American block, to be honest, if I had my full choice. But that's the thing. I'm in talks with a guy from Australia, one of my fans, to get shipping quotes on a 250. For one, the crossflow head, it should be right around $300 delivered to my door, which is not horrible, actually. I was expecting more than that. But I wonder what the entire engine would cost, because, granted, it's about 435 pounds. Now, that's a decent bit heavier than what the 200 is currently in Stitch. Not too bad, though. It goes from about 360 to 435, you know. But I get a removable intake that's crossflow. I would have, you know, like, a lot more performance out of that, because realistically, I could just throw a cam into that 250 crossflow. I could deck the head, and, you know, a couple of the little things, you know, like mess around with the timing a bit, and, you know, just without turboing it yet, and I could be around 200 horsepower. NA. It's not bad. Now, I am sort of anticipating, if I modify the head on Stitch without a cam, with just, like, the header and everything, I'd be right around 160-ish crank. So this extra engine, you know, would give me, you know, an extra 40 horsepower to the crank-ish with a cam. And I just don't know, is the juice worth the squeeze, you know? We'll have to see, because it'd be really unique, right? Very, very unique. That way. And like I said, a 250 Australian crossflow would be fantastic. Now, I might have to put a hole in my hood, or I'd make some sort of a scoop for it, to be fair. Like, it wouldn't be a ram air. It would be like a, you know, gotta go like that into it. But then I'd have to have, like, a screen or something there, so that it doesn't pick up, like, rocks or anything, or... Which also, I got a rock chip in my windshield, so I'm gonna have to get that fixed, so... There's that. Sorry. Damn it. You have an engine question? Well, I might have an engine answer. What's up there, Austin? What's shaking? So there's that sort of stuff with, like, the engine. Like I said, I'll have more of an idea of what I'm gonna do for that once I actually have everything figured out. When it comes to what I'm getting out of the 81 Mustang or 82 Mustang, and yeah, which is Hail Mary, you know. And like I said, Hail Mary is not gonna be around. I'm actively selling her. Do I know much about the small block Chevy? I mean, a little bit, yeah. what seems to be the question. Like, is this you're having issues with said motor and you're asking for advice, or is this a hey, I want to build it, and what would you sort of recommend? Now, granted, do I know most of them for like building them outright? Not necessarily, but I know a little bit, and I'm not the one to fully ask about small block Chevys, but I have a little bit of experience with them. So what's going on? Could you use a flat tappet cam in a roller block? I mean, yeah, you can. Because oddly enough, like a flat tappet cam is just not going to give you as much performance. But you know, and the problem with the flat tappet cam is that you're going to have to like adjust your valve lash every so often. With a roller cam, you set it once and you're good. That's why rollers are much nicer to use. Flat tappets don't really work that way. So it's kind of really up to you. Like, I understand flat tappets are cheaper. Yes, way cheaper than a roller cam, but a roller cam is so worth it. Like, you will lose a bit of performance with a flat tappet versus a roller cam. Let's see. What does this... Okay, I don't care about that. Alright. I was just checking a notification really quick there. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, you should be able to. I can't see why not. You know, they're... Like, again, because the difference between, like, a roller cam and a flat tappet cam is that, like, a roller cam actually has, like, bigger lobes and stuff like that. So it's actually a bigger cam, to be fair. But that block is designed for, you know, that. And that's okay, though. It still just slide in just fine. I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah, like, admittedly, I can't see why not. So you might have to do some other changes to it. But that's something you can, like, research and figure out, too. For sure. Because, like I said, I don't know everything off the top of my head for that. There's people I can ask, but it's kind of late for that. And also, I would kind of need my phone to ask them said questions, but, well, I'm kind of live with my phone. So, yeah. But that is, kind of fun. Anyways, so, the other thing I wanted to talk about, I'll get more details, but I might be sort of voluntold sort of idea, but I'm okay with it. You know, he did actually ask if I wanted to do it, and I said, yeah, I'm totally okay with that. But I might be volunteering for my buddy's rally that he's going to be doing. So he's doing rally racing in Cochrane and then Water Valley next Saturday. So that would be exciting. And I don't know, like, if I would be driving one of his vehicles as a sport vehicle or how this is really gonna work, but I can, you know, because he's just gonna be solo, right? So I can help him out, and that'd be pretty cool, honestly. I don't know what he has fully in mind. Like, am I gonna have to, as an example, like, am I gonna have to try and service your vehicle if it breaks down and stuff? You know, am I, like, changing tires and shit? Like, what is my duties gonna be? So, we'll have to see. And you're building the motor for your first truck and you have a roller block with vortex heads, but roller cams are just so damn expensive. Yeah, exactly. And I get that, honestly, because they really are. I'd love to be able to afford, like, roller cams, but they're, yeah. Like, a flat tappet cam is, like, $200-$300, where, you know, a roller cam is, like, $500-$600. So, it's kind of rough. I get it. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Stacy just mentioned push rods are different, as is a timing set. A non-roller timing set in a roller block can potentially have clearance issues with the block. Interesting. See, I was not aware of the timing stuff. Because, like, I'm using a double... Well, as an example, I'm using a double roller timing chain in Stitch. It barely fits. Like, once that thing... It's kind of funny. Once that chain eventually gets a little loose, you're going to hear it hit the, you know, the timing cover. Easily. Because it's it's really tight tolerances. So, but yeah, because I didn't even think about the push rods. Because like I said, I knew that the actual cam itself is bigger. So with a roller comparatively to a flat tappet. So it might just be that it's just cheaper in the end to just get a roller cam, you know? Which sucks, definitely. But it's well worth it to do. Because I didn't even think about that. But yeah, no, I think Stacy's right about that. Yeah. You want that iconic rough idle? Would you have any cam suggestions? Well, okay, so you want a nice sort of choppy cam, but the thing is, you lose a lot of drivability with like a very choppy cam. Like you want more of like a well, depending on. Okay, let me ask you, what is the build specs of your engine? Like, what all are you doing with it? Because depending on that, which to be honest, like, am I really the person to ask about what cam you should put in your vehicle? Probably not. Only because of, well, what you really should do is call Claysmith Cams or call, whoever you're looking at getting cams from, right? Okay, you're doing a bone stock, but you want it to sound good. Okay, so really you want a mild cam then. Like an RV cam would probably do you just fine. I would think, but again, what I would do, because the thing is, if you put like a very choppy big cam in your vehicle, here's the problem with that. You would actually lose performance in the end. So, the one thing is, I hate the stage kit cams. I really do, because that doesn't tell me anything. Because so many companies do different specs for their stages. And I don't know any of them off the top of my head. Of like, because it really depends on what the duration is and what the, if my brain will work, here, come on, the initial and the duration and stuff like that. Like what the actual specs of the cam are. Because you like any company can say, "Oh, this is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4." What does that mean? Like genuinely, I know like the lower the number, the less aggressive and less performance it is. I get that, but like that's why like with because like cams are something that you shouldn't just get a cam just for your engine to sound better, because you can genuinely lose performance with too big of a cam. Texas Speed Shop, Summit, and Jag. See, the thing is, what I would do is, okay, see with any of the ones, like you look at those sites and see with any of the cams you're looking at, call the company that makes that camshaft and ask them, like, go through your entire build specs, right? And ask them, okay, I want a little bit of a choppy, cam, but I don't want to lose too much performance. What do you suggest with all of this, right? That is the way to do it. Because you can ask so many people of opinions, but the people who do this are the people to ask. Because I haven't really built a small block Chevy in my life. I deal with inline sixes, to be honest. I played with a 302 for a bit, which oddly enough, fun fact, I might be getting another 302 powered vehicle. Stay tuned for that. I can talk about it a bit, and I just need to get more info on it and see what's up with it and see if it's going to be worth buying, because I do have a number in mind for it. I don't want to go over that number at all, because what this is, at least what I've been told it is. Oh, here we go. What was that? Look at the Howard's Rattler cams. They have a nice choppy idle and can be used with a stock converter. Perfect. There you go. Because actually, Howard's cams, I've heard of them, and they've been around for a long time. So, they are a very reputable company. But anyways, so this Mustang that I might be buying, if it is what is actually said, it is. It is a 1992 Ford Mustang Notchback that's an SAAC car, which if you don't know what that is a Shelby America Auto Club vehicle. There was only 33 of these ever built. This is one of 10 of the notchbacks. There was 10 notchbacks made, 30 or 23 hatchbacks made. I don't really know much else on them other than apparently they had the first iteration of the GT40 heads. They had a different cam in them, and they made about 300 horsepower. They were all T5 manuals, and they were all 8.8 rear end. I believe they were all 355s, but they may have been 327s. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then they all had Coney suspension on them from the factory. So this one has 5-lug on it, and I don't know if they came 5-lug or not. I don't really know much on the vehicle, to be honest, and I need more info before I can really go forward, because if it's not real, it's fine. If it's just like a clone or a what if, I don't really mind. I like the look of the car overall, and it's a notchback, and I love my notchbacks, as you can probably tell with what I own. So this would be a fun one to kind of get fixed for the channel, clean it up, drive it for a bit, flip it. You know, and that's what I do with a lot of the vehicles. Like, Stitch is the only one that's like the untouchable with that. Everything else is pretty much on the table, though, with any of the vehicles I own. So, unless something comes up with that. But, yeah. And your dad had an 82 S10 with a dirt track motor in it, and he has a Melon RV cam in it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know Melon cams off the top of my head, but, like, RV cams are pretty, you know, that's pretty typical. Throw an RV cam in any of these 350s and stuff. Hey, Wheel Dog. How's it going, my dude? You know, hopefully you're having a wonderful evening. I know I am overall. I put out a post on TikTok to say, hey, I am over live on the YouTube, so come check it out. So hopefully, maybe we'll get some of my TikTok peeps in the chat. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. But you never know. You never know. But yeah, so it's pretty cool, though. Like I said, with everything that's going to be happening here in the next little while. Because, I'll get some money out of, obviously, Hail Mary. And then I am going to get some performance upgrades for Stitch. But those performance upgrades might wait because I might end up doing something else. And what's interesting, though, is that Buzz, the old 81 Capri there, Buzz might end up actually getting traded for a Merkur XR4 Ti that's apparently built, and it makes like 350 horse or something like that, running about 22 pounds of boost, give or take. So that could be interesting for him and see how that is. But I told him, like, okay, it's a cool car, but at the same time, they're not very reliable. They're not known to be very reliable. So do bear that in mind if you do this trade. And now I've kind of told them, just go for it. Like, that Capri is just, it's starting to rust out really badly. And it'd be better if you just hawk it now and get something that's a little decent, right? And it'd be the first good decision he's made in a while. So, you've never heard of somebody call it a notch. Interesting. So yeah, whenever somebody refers to a notchback, that means the coupe. When it comes to the Mustang. And now, why is it called a notch? I mean, it's kind of like, taking a notch on a piece of paper, right? You just give that sort of idea. Or like you do a notch in anything, right? So yeah, that's a coupe. It's like my 81 Mustang, right? Oh, let's see. Okay, your snowmobile's not so good. You did a compression test that has 90 pounds in each cylinder. I was told it's supposed to be 120. Well, dog, have you confirmed? Okay, with 90 in each cylinder, have you confirmed with, like, putting oil down the cylinders and testing them with oil in the cylinders a little bit? Does it read out the same number or not? Because if the numbers go up, congratulations, you probably need piston rings. If it doesn't, then it might need like a full, valve job, piston ring, the whole ordeal. It's kind of annoying, actually. But, that's what I would do. Like, if you haven't tried that, then try it. But beyond that, because, yeah. You haven't, but you heard of that trick? Oh, yeah. Like I said, and it works, too. Because if the number increases, then, yeah, that means that extra oil is sealing it better. So, yeah. But that's the advantageous thing of oil squirters. But at the same time, you also don't want oil squirters in like a high horsepower build. But it's kind of weird. Yeah, and now, hang on. Murray, this is not... Here's the question. Is this the Murray from my TikTok / my Facebook? Or just a different Murray? Hey, it is that Murray. Cool. Yeah, no, so... For anybody that doesn't know, this is my buddy Murray, and he is very knowledgeable on building engines and stuff. He's actually in the middle of doing a build on, I think it's an 83 Mustang, right? He bought this thing, and it's very, it was a very rough car, but it's 84 GT. Okay, fair enough. I know it was 83 or 84, but it was a very rough car, and so he's had to do a ton of rust repair, and now he's in the final stages of the bodywork before he can paint it. So, that's exciting. And it'll be good when it's finally, like, painted, and then he can reassemble it and finally have a vehicle again. Where's Saber? Saber, which he spelled his name wrong, but that's okay. Saber, I think he's in the bedroom. Probably. I mean, I can go grab him, but... That's kind of mean to grab a sleeping fat cat. There you go. Yes. Also, half-fast garage. How goes it, dude? It's been a billion years, just about. Billion years. Now, that is interesting, Austin. Between a 67 Mustang Coupe or a King Cobra... Those are two completely different vehicles. Cool. Both really cool. But both very different from each other. They're both Mustangs. Yes. But one's a Mustang 2. And the other one's a first-gen Mustang. So, I like you, though. I like you. Hey, you're just going to bed and want to say hi? That is fair. I get that. Well. So, hi? Yes. Me and Half-Assed Garage used to chat all the time, but we just haven't chatted in a while, honestly. And, but when we did chat, because he was at a point where he was trying to get more subscribers, and what I told him is, like, for an April Fool's joke, he should do the cross-dressing mechanic. And I had a lot of people say that he should do that, because it'd be freaking hilarious, and it'd probably get a bunch of views, too. But then he was scared that he'd have to do that for the entirety of his channel afterwards. So, there is that. But... Not this again? Just saying! If you want your videos to, like, skyrocket, which, to be fair, I think you have more subscribers than I do now. But, if you want it to soar, you could do that. Just saying. And hey, a 69 Nova, though, is a badass car. And that'd be a lovely car to like, build. Because, underneath it's just like a Camaro. Same thing. So, a lot of stuff from the Camaro will swap onto the Nova. So, kind of cool that way. Kind of cool. I'm your favorite LGBTQ streamer? Well, thank you. As the lesbian streamer. It's great. I am good. How are you doing there? And hey, no worries, man. Have a wonderful sleep, and we'll chat at you soon, man. Take care. Hey, Ford guy, how goes it? As he's double texting in the chat, but it's all good. That might just be a glitch with his internet. Good night. Yeah, no, because that is a good friend of mine, Half-Ass Garage. He actually designed a logo for my channel. So anytime you see my logo out and about, he did it. So, yeah, he made that forever ago. Don't mind double again, ran out of data. Got you. I was figuring that was an internet thing, so it's fine. I found that on TikTok, honestly, as well, when I go live on there, because I'm live more on TikTok than I am on here. Although, I don't know why, because, like, my YouTube community is freaking amazing. Although, I'm building a really good TikTok community. It's just there's a lot of trolls and a lot of idiots that I deal with. So, is that. But, ooh, an 85 GMC High Sierra as your first truck? That is cool. No, those things are awesome. And, like, so that's what you're putting the 350 into. Nice. Honestly, like, they were really good trucks out of the box. Very reliable overall. You can't really kill them. You know, like, they will go forever. And the cool part is about them is that if for some reason that you have to let it sit for a long period of time, they typically fire right up. They are very well made engines, honestly. So yeah. I did more work on the motorhome. Nice. Sounds fun. You know. Oh, it was a 6.2 diesel. Oh. So wait, you're swapping out the diesel for the gasser? I mean, I get it. But interesting. Austin never let it go. It was built right back when GM actually cared. This is true. Like, because now GM doesn't seem to care. Case in point, the the L89, I believe, 6.2? They're actually being looked into because they're blowing up constantly. And what they are finding is in a lot of these engines, there's excess casting in the engine that is very thin casting, and it just breaks off and gets into the oil pan and then wreaks havoc in the block. So, and it can actually get caught in the rotating assembly and stuff like that too. It's not good. It's not good. So yeah, and that's sad. Honestly, pretty sad. Okay, cool. Doing the whole motorhome thing and fixing it up. So I gets that. Fun. And figure out a table. Hey, I mean, it makes me miss my old van. Because I had that 84 Vandera that, I did the whole build, or like the Revive series here on TikTok. And that was a lot of fun doing that. And maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll get another one. We'll see. Let's see. Where the starter bolts and the block is chipped off on the diesel. Ah, okay. That is sad. But I can understand that, I suppose. If the casting is like, it's just gone and you're having difficulties pulling the starter in, it's understandable why you might want to swap to a 350. I get that. Although, you could do the weird thing and do a 350 diesel. I wouldn't recommend it, though. I would not recommend that. And to be fair, the 350 diesel wasn't a Chevy 350. That was an Oldsmobile 350. Different block altogether. They don't share too much in common. They share a couple of things, but not everything. Like, I think the heads are even different on the old 350 versus the Chevy 350. Oh, you're still trying to find the movie it was in? Fair enough. And you're going to keep the diesel? Well, here's the thing. So, if it's just the area where it bolts into the block. I mean, theoretically, you could just weld it back up, and like get it fixed, or even like either yourself or get it fixed at a shop, to where they could actually weld that back up and you could put it back in. You know, but I understand though if you're already neck deep in the 350 build. Oh yeah, like the 350 should be way cheaper. And like the 350 is probably a better engine than the 6.2 diesel. Like there was nothing really wrong with the 6.2, but they weren't like the greatest engine of all time. And as an example, if you want to build them, they were kind of not the greatest that way. Well, that's okay. That is okay. It's gonna be nice because tomorrow, hopefully, I'll have hot water back in my house. Yay! Because I think it's the element that's like gone out in it, so that's fun. From a water heater that's freaking 2 years old, so that's always fun. When you try to start, the starter kicks away from the flywheel. Yeah, if there's not enough engagement with the bolts that way into the block, it makes sense. So, oh yeah, like here's the thing. So the old 350 diesel, I've heard that they can be decent, but you have to like vigorously maintain them. You have to like swap out fuel filters very often, and you have to do oil changes a lot more commonly on them than you'd expect to do on a diesel. And that's what makes them like sort of reliable. But the problem is nobody wants to do that, right? You kind of just want to, have your thing together and go. Let's see. Sometimes for my alternator, I split first. That is weird. That is very weird. Hey, Christopher. Well, let's see. You've missed me talking about potentially going back down to Flatlaw Auto Wrecking in the next week or so, and checking out what they got down there, and making sure that they have, the tail lights that my buddy needs. And then this weekend, I am likely going to be helping my buddy with his Rally Corolla. So, like, he's actually racing it. And basically, I'll just be there as, like, a support sort of idea, I'm thinking? Because he doesn't have anybody. It's just going to be me. So, that should be fun. Let's see. Hail Mary is going to be gone soon. And with the money from Hail Mary, some of that's going to be dumped into Stitch. The other money might be going into a 1992 Mustang 5-liter Notchback with a 5-speed in it. And that's about it. Then we're also talking about like Austin's 6.2 diesel and 350 Olds diesels and his 350 gas. So yeah. Hang on, the person that had it before me had a piece of 2x4 stuck between the back of the starter and the oil pan to try to keep it spaced, but it just chewed up the flywheel. Ooh. Damn. That sucks. That sucks. But I understand. Very much understand that. Because, yeah, sometimes you just do stuff that's kind of shitboxy to, send it down the road, right? And I get that. Like, there are some repairs that I've had to do on Stitch at times where it's just like, this is just a temporary repair. And then that temporary repair becomes a permanent repair, and then you realize down the road, it's like, oh shit, I should probably fix that properly. Meh, it's fine. Oh, see me. But hey, I mean, if it's a chipped up flywheel, well, all you gotta do is just keep swapping out the ring gear. Yeah. Just swap out the ring gear every couple of years. It's fine. Yeah, I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that. But now you're trying to find a 700 R4 to put behind the 350. Fair. I mean, 700 R4s are not bad transmissions at all. They do have an Achilles heel, though, because if I remember correctly, there is a, isn't there like a transmission line, or maybe it's the actual speedo cable that likes to go ejectocito on those and leaks out a bunch of tranny fluid when that happens? If I remember correctly, on 700 R4s, that was a problem with them. But they can be really good, though. Can be. As long as you're not gonna be, like, beating the shit out of this thing, it should be fine. But then again, like, my buddy, he has a built, like, Chevy 302 in his square body Chevy. Making about 600 horsepower, give or take. The problem, though, his 700 R4 he keeps having problems with. And I was supposed to do a review of that truck like 2 years ago, and I still can't do it. It has a turbo 400, but you want the overdrive for the long drives to help fuel economy. We'll see. No, I don't mean a 305. I mean a Chevy 302. If you don't know what the Chevy 302 is, pretty simple. So the Chevy 302 was it was a homologation engine for Trans Am racing, for the SAAC Trans Am racing, from 1967 to 1969. You were only allowed to have 5 liters of displacement. So what Chevy did, they took a 327 and they put a 283 crank in it, and that creates a 302. Very high revving engine, to be honest. Like those engines will rev to like $7,000, and they were very successful in campaigning it. But like I said, that engine was only made from 1967 to 1969. But yeah, so little neat time in history. Put that way. Ooh, that'd be. Yeah, if he doesn't have the proper shifter for it to engage the lockup, and yeah, like a DZ302, yeah, that's what it is. Although I think that one's a crate motor, not one of the originals, but it's badass. I've driven that truck. The only problem is that he's been having nothing but problems with that 700 R4. And it was over revving like a bunch, and didn't want to shift, stuff like that. But he thinks he finally got it like 2 years later. However, we don't know yet. He's been driving it a decent amount. So, where is this message? It was a flag message. I'll just hide that, because yeah, we're not even going to, say that comment, because that's kind of fucking weird, bro. Just saying. But yeah, and that's one of the fun things, and because eventually, I don't know, I want to talk to John about that, and see of maybe me and him can pick up the AMX this summer, maybe. Go up to Valley View and grab it. Bring it back down. And I can revive it. Because he did say last year that I could have that car. He did say that. So I am just like this with it. I'm like, I want the car so bad right now. Even though I have no fucking money. But, I mean, if I had the money from, Hail Mary, that would change things a little bit. Your 1980 C30 has the SM455. You want to convert it to an auto? I mean, why do you want to do an automatic as opposed to that, though? Just out of curiosity. Other than the really heavy freaking clutch that the thing probably has to make it move. Just out of curiosity. And also with that square body Chevy, actually, that that kid was talking about too, because he wants an overdrive with it, which fair enough, and I understand that. You could end up doing like a turbo 350 or a turbo 400 with like a gear vendor's overdrive, but I'll have to say. Well, here's the thing, Austin. You do know that you could build that 350 into a 383 stroker yourself, because all it takes to make a 383 stroker genuinely is a 400 crank and then bore it 30 over, and that makes 383 stroker in your 350. But it's just up to you what you really want to do, you know, that way. And like I said, that's something you could do in the future, right? You're tired of the slow shifting of the... I like the granny... Ah, fair enough. That makes sense. You're so happy to find your 89 F-150 as an M50D. I no longer want an auto. Like, and they're pretty decent transmissions, right? Like, yes, can they have their problems? Yeah, they can. But for the most part, they're all right. You know, like, it kind of sucks that they're a hydraulic clutch, though. Like, I much prefer a mechanical clutch, because it's way easier to, like, maintain. You know, if your clutch cable wears out, well, that's not a problem. You don't have to take the transmission apart. You can just very easily change out the cable within, like, 20 minutes. Right? As opposed to a lot of these frickin' vehicles will have the slave cylinder in the goddamn bell housing. That's so frustrating. It's like, why on earth would you do that? Like, have it external. Because it's not like there isn't a ton of room underneath the hood of those trucks. Like, there's a lot of room where you can put it there. You know, that was the only snag that I could see potentially in the future with that Mazda 5-speed. And I like that 5-speed, though. Like, I've had experience with it. My dad's, 95 F-150 with a 306 had that. But we didn't have that truck for very long, though. It's kind of sad. It's too bad it had a salvage title, because, yeah, that truck would have been awesome. And I would have just bought the truck off my dad, to be honest. But, you want to swap to a manual, but so much damn work? Yeah, it is. Because you got to worry about, okay, well, the pedals, then you have to worry about the transmission mounts, and then you have to do the, figure out a clutch cable, or figure out a slave cylinder, stuff like that. It's kind of a pain. I mean, I did that on my car, and, like, I had to do even more than that. You know, like, I had to mix and match a bunch of different parts to make it work. But yeah. Now, I prefer manuals, to be honest, Wolfshed, but I'm not opposed to automatics, though. Like, it really depends on the application. If it's a vehicle that I actually want to drive and, like, really just, be sort of, like, race car mindset and, like, drive it quickly, give me a manual. But if I don't want to drive it super enthusiastically, I'll take an automatic. That's fine. Like, case in point, that T-Bird out there. That T-Bird really is a fantastic car with the C6 automatic in it. And granted, it's a slow pig. Absolutely. Even with the 400 under the hood, it's not very fast. In fact, I'm pretty sure Stitch would beat that car in the quarter mile and stuff like that, but I haven't really tested it. So, I'll just say. And you have to reinforce the firewall because of the clutch? What? You have to do that in a square body? Because didn't have to do that in my car. Mind you, mine's a foxbody Mustang. And they designed it to where genuinely manual pedals are the exact same as automatic pedals. It just has the clutch pedal on there. The 80s T18 and T19 mechanical clutches are very stiff. Your clutch with 170k and no bearing noise. Well, see, and the thing is, you know how you can eliminate, like, a stiff clutch? All you gotta do is extend out your clutch fork. That's what we did. Because my clutch was like super stiff. Like it was brutal. So we extended it out to where like it's actually not too bad now. Right? But, and yes, well, all of the Mustangs excluding, so first gen Mustangs are Z-bar. I think Mustang 2s might be cable. I don't know though. T18 and 19 use bars, not cables. That's fair. But it would still have a clutch. Sorry, I meant to say clutch fork, right? You know. And the firewall was cracked. Fair enough. Anyhow, like, and my car uses a mechanical clutch, but the clutch is not out of a 5-liter. Like, it's actually smaller. It's a 9-inch clutch. That's specific for like these inline 6s. You know. They were your 86 used Pinto cable. Nice. Cause like yeah, mine is a mix and mishmash of a bunch of different shit. You know, to get mine to work, and it's like my buddy's real surprised that there's been no issues with it. And yeah, I mean, the only issue that it has, and I don't know what it is, but every once in a blue moon, is you're on the clutch, or like actually you're off the clutch, and you'll hear some sort of like noise that way, right? But then you put in the clutch, and then you take it out, and it's like, it's gone. I can't really figure out what it is, but because it's not a consistent thing, it doesn't bother me. It's just kind of weird. So, yeah. Well, I appreciate that, Christopher. Thanks, man. Because, yeah, I mean, the work that I've done with the car has been pretty nice, and it's worked. Like, nothing is really broken. So far. You know? I will have breakage at some point, just not now. Should have kept this as a fun car. Yeah, oh yeah, like fox bodies are fun. I love my fox bodies. And like people say, like here's the thing, like cuz so if you guys aren't aware, I go live on TikTok quite often, and I have so many people like really shit on that car on TikTok a lot because it doesn't have a V8 in it, and it's like a big POS because it's not one color. I'm like, yeah, it's 17 colors. What's your point? Yes, it has a really rusty passenger door that you can barely open, but it still opens. I need to replace that door, which will happen. And it's very easy to replace those doors. It's just 2 pins. Pull the pins out, door comes off. It's great. It's great design. It was a heavy duty, hence heavy clutch too. Oh yeah, well like here's the thing. My clutch is actually sort of a like performance clutch. But it's like from Rock Auto, so, you know. But and the clutch works great. And like anybody that drives my car, they're really surprised when driving it because they're like, "Oh, this clutch seems pretty light." It's like, "Yeah, but it's actually a pretty heavy clutch." You know. But that's just what we did because like I said, if the clutch fork itself, if you extend that puppy out, you can make that clutch very light. And that's what we did. We used 2 different fox body forks to extend it out to make it work. So, yeah. It's fun, though. It's fun. It's fun. I really love that car. Like, and it's a riot to drive with the stick. Hey, Kelly! I'm doing good. Nice to see you just finished work. Cool, cool. You know, I'm just sitting here, vibing at 11:35 or so at night, and just chilling. I'm chilling like a Magellan. Yeah! You know, just having fun, per usual. And just vibing. True, you can have it routed wrong to have a stiff pedal, but that wasn't the problem we had. It was just because here's the thing. With the clutch fork, though, if you have it too short, what can actually happen is that it's a whole leverage thing, right? So, as we're all aware, when you're like, if you're trying to lift a boulder, as an example, well, you can't, like, lift it by hand, so you you grab like a giant bar and you can move it that way, right? It's the same principle. It gives you a lot more leverage when it's longer. So with a clutch fork, right? Like I said, that's what we did, and it works. Works. 135 in Ontario, but you are warmer? Oh, you are not warmer in here right now. Promise you that. Promise you that. We're in the middle of a Chinook. So it's been really warm here for the past couple weeks, honestly. You know, you carry heavy rock for a living? I didn't know that. But you know, though, that principle, right? The whole leverage principle sort of idea. I just use that heavy rock as an example. Doesn't have to be heavy rock. Could be an engine. Could be anything. You know, but you know, because I can like look at the window, and I can see my pretty Mustang in the driveway. Such a pretty car out there. So pretty. Yeah. But I mean, genuinely, I didn't actually know you drove like rock trucks for a living, so that's kind of interesting. Oh wait, what? I don't know why you're on the coast regards your cars. Oh, okay, that's cool. So you carry granite. That's kind of cool. Don't know why you respond to the idiot comments on your posts in regard to your cars. Well, the reason why I do that, it genuinely, do I really care about their comments? Not entirely. Like for me, I reply to their comments just to, if my brain will work here, just to engage the algorithm better. And more comments means more likes, means more comments, means more shares, means more followers, means more subscribers, that sort of thing, right? It's all about growing, and I physically use the negative comments to help myself grow. Now, it can be a bit much. It really can be. But you get used to it, you know? And I used to get a ton of that here on YouTube, but that seems to be mostly gone. Like, I get the odd comment here and there, but it's mostly on TikTok, honestly. And yeah, like, case in point, I have done my entire, so, like, the other day, I did a bunch of videos where I was just using some idiot's comments on my car just to, you know, like, just to get more views. And case in point, the one video that I did a reply to that guy's comments has over 6,000 views. So, there's that. Now, granted, does it get me anything from TikTok? No. I don't make money off of TikTok unless the people gift when I'm alive. Or they do the subscriptions. You know, if they subscribe to my TikTok, I can get some money from that. It's not a ton, but I can get some money from that. But yeah, I mean, honestly though, like, it's gonna be fun with everything, and I did want to get back to Ghost Lake to slide around the lake one more time before the end of the season, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Looking at how warm it's been, it's gonna be a bit unsafe to go on the ice pretty soon here, so I just don't think it's gonna happen, unfortunately. Oh yeah, it's true. There's a lot of like rude people on TikTok, and it's weird because TikTok actually flags like the comments and the videos and stuff, where YouTube doesn't. But it just goes to the mentality of people. Like, I'd be curious if there was no freaking, like, if all the comments came through on TikTok, I'd be curious of how much dark shit there'd be in there. I'd really be curious about that. Because yeah, I mean, I have seen some really awful shit in my comments. I'm not gonna lie, but you just stay to YouTube because you're old. That's fair. That's fair. Again, TikTok, you get a lot more engagement on. And that's one of the reasons why I'm on TikTok. You just get a shit ton of engagement. YouTube, you don't get near as much of it. Because case in point, look at how many videos I have on here, and look at how many people actually comment on my videos. It's not very many, comparatively. Where, like, TikTok, if somebody disagrees, they comment it right away. And now there are some helpful comments. Like, as an example, the other day, I posted it here on YouTube as well. But when I had the problem with... So, when I was fixing the coolant leak on Stitch, the thing is, I had to remove the alternator bracket. And there was a little nut. And the problem is, that nut fell down and got caught in the crank. I'm like, oh, shoot. Right? So... the problem is, I couldn't really get it out, and I'm, like, racking my brain trying to figure it out, because, like, I was trying to fish that thing out for, like, an hour, and I could not get it, I can get it to move, that's about it. It kept getting stuck on the crank bolts. So I'm like, how the hell did it actually fall all the way down there? It's wild to me. So then, what I ended up doing is, I was going to use centrifugal force, which, how do you use centrifugal force, and how do I explain centrifugal force? Well, it's pretty easy. So, case in point, you know, when that nut was in there, right, and I couldn't get it to, like, fish out that way. Well, I knew that it got down in there, so I figured with centrifugal force, I can get it out. And centrifugal force, basically what it is, so think about when you are going around, like, playing a racing game, and you're drafting somebody, right, but you're entering a corner. Well, the problem is, like, so the kind of jet wash from them, you're actually going to be going kind of like this as you're going around that corner instead of, like, following their line. So I was going to use that principle with just bumping the starter, right, to hopefully turn it so that the gravity would catch it and make it do that. But the car actually fired off. And I didn't expect it to honestly start. I was trying to get my ignition wires apart, but they weren't coming apart, so I said, screw it, and just did what I did. But, so that nut came flying out, and I was very happy, because once it fired off, like, I immediately shut it off. I'm like, shoot, I did not want that to start, because I didn't also want the alternator to, you know, get out of balance and throw a belt. So, then I'm looking underneath, like, luckily I have a piece of plywood underneath the car, and I'm like, I'm praying, I'm going like, please, please, please be there. And then I found that. I'm like, yes! And then you can see, like, my hair looking so bad. Like, I was looking so much like a Neanderthal in that, not gonna lie, with my hair was, how dirty I was. It was fucking hilarious looking at the back of that video, to be honest. And just, like, I was so happy to find that just little nut, right? And then I was able to get it back on the car, and all is good, you know? Could have taken the plug wires off. I mean, could have. I just didn't think about that. You know? So one thing that... I was just trying to get the, like I said, just disconnect the ignition altogether. But it wasn't working, so screw it. Screw it. And yeah. Like, admittedly, I look back and I laugh at what happened. I really do. But genuinely, like, that was just so stupid. I don't understand, like, why? Why? You know? But... that's okay. Hey, it happens, right? It happens. But it's all back together now. It's fine. That 20-minute job took me about 12 hours to do because of that shit. So, yeah. That was fun. But yeah, now I don't have a coolant leak anymore, so I don't have to spend a bunch on coolant now. Yay! And it's so funny how many people tell me, oh, you should use thread tape on that just in case. It's like, it's brass. You don't have to use thread tape on brass. It's actually very tight fitting, all in all. And it doesn't really, like, corrode the way that, like, steel does. And needing thread tape that way. But also, they didn't use thread tape from the factory. So there's that. And it didn't leak for 40 years. If we actually use tools, it's a badge of honor, right? Right? Exactly. But no, like, genuinely, it's just one of those things. And, you know, and we all have, like, messed up when working on our cars. We drop something, or something gets caught in a fan, as an example, and wrecks a rad. Yeah, that happened. Sorry if it isn't me. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. Like I said, nothing got damaged in this instance, right, of that nut falling into the crank. But it could have caused a lot of damage. Like, I was scared of that. That's why I didn't want to start it. But it ended up firing off anyways, and, like, because, again, I didn't expect it to fire off right off the bat. Usually, it takes me, like, a couple of pumps to get it to at least start, but... And then the other day, she was really fighting me on the cold start, but welcome to carburetors and just barometric pressures and stuff like that changing, and, you know, it can change everything in a carburetor to make it run or not. Hi, sir. Can I help you? He is actually purring. He is purring in this position. Silly boy. Hi, buddy. Hi, Rascal. Hey, Rascal. Ow! Hey, Rascal. You little shit. I know you didn't intentionally, like, bite me to hurt me, but that freaking hurt. See? Say hi to the chat, Rascal. Rascal. Say hi to the chat. Hi, buddy. He freaking bit me, the bastard. He bit me on the scar on my arm. Oh, it fell all the way down? Because you would have expected it to be caught by the boosters. But I guess not. Ouch. I mean, it happens, right? It does happen. Oh, let's see. This message is held for review. That little shit, no biting. Exactly, right? Again, he wasn't intending to, like, actually bite me. It just, he happened to connect really good with his teeth, and that's what made that hurt, you little bugger. I love you, but you're a little shithead. You know that? Has anybody ever told you that, you rascal? You are a little shithead. Doo-da, doo-da. You are a little shithead. Oh, doo-da day. Oh, now you're playful, eh? I'm just trying to pet you, see? I'm just petting you. Just like this. Hey, rascal. But yeah, so no. It's gonna be fun, though, in the next little while of getting everything done that I want done on the car. Because the car is gonna get faster. It's not gonna be super fast. But it will be pretty freaking quick for what it are. And it'll be fun. Because, yeah, like, my goal by the end of the year, hopefully, it might not happen, but this is my goal. For the end of the year, if my car made 200 horsepower to the wheels, I'd be ecstatic. It might not, though. Like I said, it might be an unrealistic goal, but you never know. And then also, like, in all the comments saying, why don't you V8 swap it? Well, let me show you why. And I go through the whole thing. And people call me, like, bullshitting with my pricing. I'm going, guys, I live in Canada. This is the realization of it. A lot of my American friends don't have this problem of, like, building out these engines and building, like, and getting the parts to actually do a V8 swap. But you got a few 93 ECU parts for you if I decide to get a 5-liter. To be fair, if I'm going to go 5-liter, I'm not going to go fuel injection. But I appreciate that. You know, unless if, like I said, this, or if I just pick up a fuel-injected V8, you know, which again, with this SAAC car that, like I said, I don't know if it's actually real or not. I know the car is real, just whether or not, like, actually what it is real. So, as in, I know it's a Mustang. I know that the car actually exists. Just whether or not it actually is an SAAC. I don't know. You converted it over to a Harley ECU years ago? Hey, that's a better way to go, because there's actually this thing called tuning! What a concept, right? You're doing a kind of race to see who can finish the truck first? Well, hey, just remember, Austin. So, it's cool that you're doing that, but remember to make sure that everything you have is done right instead of just quick. Which I'm sure I don't have to remind you of that, but some people have to be reminded of that at times. So believe me, I've been known to do that at times too. Where just like I want to get something done really quick, and then I don't do something correct, and then I have to redo everything I just did to fix that problem. So been there, done that. But realistically, you're putting a 350 in a small block or in a square body Chevy. It shouldn't be that hard in the end. It's just making sure that you have like the correct fuel pumps and stuff like that and fuel pressure. You'll be fine. Because now the big question is though, on your 350 that you're putting in that, are you wanting to go with, say, a mechanical pump, or are you going to do it with an electronic pump? Because either or would be cool. And progressive nitrous as a blast, I can see that being fun. I just don't like the idea of running nitrous because you have to make sure your bottle pressures are right, and then if they're not right, then you'll have a big problem with it just dumping a bunch of fuel and not enough nitrous. And yeah. I should be going to World of Wheels, actually, yes. For one of my good friends, one of my good friends' birthdays is coming up. Her name is Holly, and she's awesome, honestly. And it's a week before World of Wheels, but me and my friend Christina are probably going to bring her to World of Wheels. So, win. Which it'll be my first time ever there. $300 shot time? No, Jesse. We're not throwing a 300 shot of nitrous at Stitch. No. You stop that. You stop saying that right now. You stop that. No. Oh yeah, the Terminator would make it a lot easier, but at the same time though, like I said, because depending on, does your nitrous run through that as well? Like, judging by it's a progressive, I'd say it does, but like, does it measure the bottle pressure to make sure that it has enough bottle pressure to actually fire the nitrous though? Or no? Because, like I said, that's my trepidation with nitrous, to be honest. Oh, and the block doesn't have a hole for the mechanical pump. Fair. Well, I mean, that's why you need a bottle heater. But yeah, the thing is though, what if you don't have the bottle heater like on it right as you're about to do a hit against some guy that's lining up next to you and you want to race him? What about that? Or it gets so hot. Just made Rascal run, torch just before the pass. But what if you're just at a light and you want to hit the nitrous? That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. Hi, Rascal. Hi, buddy. Nope, he's just gonna look through the window. That's fine. Silly boy. Yeah, he doesn't care about my whistles right now. It's too much on and off, and I'll just go over it. Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to dump that much fuel into my engine, though. Because here's the thing. I've had an engine that dumped too much fuel down the cylinders, and it kind of seized itself. So there's that. I don't want that again. Plus, I don't like the idea of having to, like, refresh my motor every so often because it's nitrous. Like, at least with, like forced induction, you don't have to do that near as often, right? But, yeah. Hi, buddy. Hi, Rascal. And in the end, really, because yes, nitrous is cheaper off the hop, but then when it comes to maintaining the nitrous and like refilling the bottle and stuff, truthfully, running forced induction is just cheaper in the end. It probably hydrolocked? Actually, it didn't. What happened was it dumped too much fuel down the cylinders of that 3.8 V6 that I had in my 86 Mustang. And then it had bad piston rings as well, so because it was burning a little bit of oil. So through it having bad piston rings and dumping too much fuel, that fuel went straight into the crankcase. So, yeah. It just thinned out the oil and seized it that way. Oh yeah, it should. Like, it should. It's just like I said, it just there's so much when it comes to nitrous, it just scares the shit out of me that I don't have to deal with as much with boost, right? Like I said, you still have to do some stuff. Like you have to get the your ring gap right for the amount of boost you're running and shit like that, and it's gonna be fun putting it together, right? Yeah, if it's a high mileage engine, there is usually enough gap for boost. Oh, definitely. And because that's something I want to actually check, to be honest, with Stitch's engine. Or even with Hail Mary's engine. But I think Hail Mary's engine needs to be refreshed because she's been starting to smoke a bit. So what I'm going to do, and also, I'm thinking the issue of it running high oil pressure, because it shows it on the gauge. I thought it was fake. I think it's actually real with that engine. So, I'm going to be doing an oil change on that thing soon and putting some Marvel Mystery Oil in it as well. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, like, running a supercharger or running a turbo, in the end, is going to be cheaper. It just is. So, you can't wait to ride your brother's Hayabusa that has nitrous. Nitrous on a Hayabusa, so you want to die. That's what you're saying. You genuinely want to die. Because, yeah, no. That is insane. Yeah, the second gear is like 90 mile an hour on your 06 Gixxer 1300. A 1300 Gixxer, Jesus. Like, these are big ass bikes. My God. Yeah, I just want to, if I get a bike, I just want like a little 500, sport bike from like the 80s. Be good. Your 300 kilometers doesn't feel like it feels slower. I call bullshit on that. It might feel like that to you, but hi, to somebody who hasn't done that, no. Exactly, right? You're not wrong. But the Marvel Mystery Oil is, I'm just going to put some of that into Hail Mary and see if the smoke goes away, which is actually, like, it'll make a good little video. Because I can start up Hail Mary and I can show that, hey, look, she's smoking a little bit. And so let's put this Marvel Mystery Oil in it and see if it clears out the smoke. So. Your brother installed cruise control on a Busa. I mean, cruise control would actually be kind of nice on a bike, not gonna lie. It's not like a car where it's not the end of the world, but like just doing that with your wrist the entire time, it's kind of annoying. 106 miles per hour. 186, sorry, miles per hour. That'd be right around 300 kilometers an hour, give or take. Give or take. They have the throttle lock and cruise control. Ah, okay. Cool. Cool. Again, I don't know fuck all about bikes. I just know I want one. You know, one of these days. One of these days. I flick a kitty in the butt. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Ow. Hi, buddy. Hi, sir. Increase power 2.5 to 3 times. I could change to higher backyards, smoke heavier bikes. Rascal's gonna get me? Well, I mean, well, watch this, because this is something I can do when he's right here like this. Check this out. So all I'm doing is gonna blow on him, right? I don't know why he loves that. Like he really does, and I can't explain why. It's just you blow on his head just a little bit, like. Oh, hang on, he's licking himself. He did. He's a silly boy. Hang on, I'll let him lick himself first. No? Hi, buddy. Oh yeah, I mean, and that's the funny thing, because like I can call him from across the house if I just whistle. Like if I do this as an example. Oh no, he just wants to the window, which fair enough. Hey, you just want to the window? To the window, to the wall. Now get down on my kitty. I thank you for the kisses on my head, buddy. Thank you. Let's see. Your brother has a supercharged Harley Road King, and at 75, you can really romp on it. Here, light up back there. Well, see, actually, so do you guys remember on my YouTube channel, I did a video of a dyno with a Procharged Harley Dynaglide? That thing was freaking insane. Like I can pull it up here. Hang on. Let me find that video, because I'll show you guys the video here. That way. Okay, Rascal, you're gone. Okay, bye. Love you, kitty. Love you. Let's see. When you were in your teens, I had a cat that liked tweeds. He would sit still. I had a cat. Let's see. Sit still in my lap and inhale the smoke from a bag. Cat literally put his head in the bag for me to hold him. That is messed up. That the cat actually liked that. That's weird. Cause hang on. Let's see. I type in Harley. 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 There you go. Once this commercial goes away, I'll flip the camera around, which we can make it like zoom in way into my face. There you go, like that. Woo! That was a joke. But yeah, so, all right. Like, this bike was insane. We also had to have 4 straps holding the front tire of this bike, by the way. And he was going over 150 miles an hour there.
160 horsepower and the torque is a shift point. Holy shit! Right, what's the range?
I think it was just a 94 octane on this bike. It was 160 horse. If I remember correctly, this thing does 160 horsepower, 190 torque. With this Procharger on it. Like, you can see the Procharger right by his leg there. Oh yeah, definitely. It's not. It's a Dynaglide.
Horsepower and the torque is a shift point.
Yeah, and then I wrote there 160 wheel horsepower, 190 foot-pounds of torque. Oh no! I don't want that to play. There we go. Okay, get it back. There we go. There we go. So yeah, that was a I think it was a 2003 or 2004 Dynaglide. Memory serves on that. So yeah, that thing was an absolute monster. Now, have we had since then we've had one bike do more than that, but to see a a bagger do that. Oh yeah, like if you'd used the E85, it would have been like way more. But you could smell it. It definitely wasn't running E85. Like I think it was just regular fuel, to be honest, like 94 or whatever. Personally, I hate V-twins. I got tired of parts falling off my SV1000 I had before I got the Gixxer. I mean, fair. I've never ridden a motorcycle at all, so I couldn't tell you. Like genuinely, like what I want for a bike is like a CBR 500 or something like that, or like 350 from like the 80s. Be cool. That's kind of like something like that. Hi. Can I help you, sir? He can't make up his mind. Every time I do that, he meows. Every time. Yeah, because like I genuinely like that bike. I mean, you can hear my reaction. Just like holy shit, right? And because yeah, we did have an H2R, like, or wasn't H2R or no? It was some sort of Kawasaki race bike. That did 200 wheel horsepower, which was insane, but it did not impress me that much because like the bike was kind of like violent with it, right? And when something is like violent, when it makes like a lot of power, that's when you go like holy shit with it, right? When something just does the power, just like wow, that's impressive, but like it doesn't like look like a spectacle. And that's the scary part about bikes because like the sport bikes, like, because they just rev to the moon, right? And they don't like violently shift, unlike that, where you can see every time it shifted, like really jerk the bike every time. But actually, the guy when he left on the bike, He actually almost ate it leaving the parking lot. So tops out at 120 something. Fair enough. Oh, you have a 2006 Triumph Bodyville T100. Nice, that's cool. That's a cool little bike, actually. Oh, I like that. The nickname of your DT100 is 250 because it's two cylinders. Oh, it's 250cc each cylinder. Well, yeah, it would be. That's given. I mean, but definitely that bike made a lot more power than what Stitch does. And that bike would have smoked Stitch. Like, that's why I find it so funny. Because every once in a while, like, you'll get, like, I get a bunch of people on TikTok that, like, have giant egos. And they'll say, oh, yeah, like, my, my bike will smoke your car. I'm going, no shit. Your power to weight ratio is insane on your bike. Yeah, you should. Even like these guys that go, oh yeah, I got a 500 two-stroke. I'm like, no shit, you'd smoke my bike with a 500 two-stroke for Christ's sake. You know, you're making damn near as much torque as I am, like with a two-stroke. Fuck. But yet these children with their giant egos just will not actually like really listen to that. And like everybody just go, oh yeah, like I'm faster than you. I'm going, yeah, and what's your point? Like, I really don't understand as to why, right? But yeah. Low Richard energy? Oh, 100%. It is that a lot. Like, it's typically a lot of, like, younger people. Like, case in point. So, my analytics on TikTok show me that the average age of my audience are between the ages of 13 to 25. Right? That is the main audience. So when you get people that are younger like that, they typically are a lot less mature and they will, talk a bunch of shit and try and think that their shit don't stick, right? But in reality, it's like, I'm sorry, a lot of those guys, like I know more about vehicles than them and I can school them on what they even have at times. Well, I have to quit watching in May when I turn 26. Hey, I just have the average age. Doesn't mean you have to be that age. But also, Jesse, I don't think you're... Do you follow my TikTok? I don't know if you do, but... Oh, yeah. I mean, like, go-karts without the governors are insane. Or at least can be. They're fun. It's fun. Oh, you don't even use TikTok? I figured. But yeah, like on here, it's a little better than that because actually, I get a lot of people who are older here on YouTube. Like the average age on YouTube actually is between the ages of, I think it's 35 to 47, if memory serves. But it's pretty cool, honestly. You have a magazine somewhere that has a drag four-wheeler. Guy put a Cummins in, I believe it was a 4BT. Wait, like. Put a 4BT on a bike? Or, oh no, on a drag four-wheeler. Sorry, that's what you meant. 4BT on a quad. Ha! That's scary. Fun. Went to Arkansas late last year with your SBE Busa builds, medium. Oh, hang on. With Garrett 5268. Oh my god. Billet, Dealhead. Got to make 4 runs. Third run, I got my 200 mile an hour sticker in the half mile. But then 4th hit and we broke the timing chain. Oof. Ouch. That definitely sucks. Not gonna lie. But hey, at least he got there. But ouch, man. Honestly, back in the late 90s, you worked at your uncle's small engine shop and worked on a couple of those 60s chainsaw and you used to mix regular motor oil in it. Oh yeah, I mean... Any of the, like, old two-strokes, you did that, right? Because also, like, there was a time when there wasn't actually two-stroke mix. You genuinely used oil. So, it's a little interesting. Hang on tight, you'll look for the magazine? Sure. Not that we'll be able to see it, but You might be able to shed more insight on that build, because that's wild, man. Wild. Because if everybody doesn't know what a 4BT Cummins is, a 4BT Cummins is literally just a 5.9 Cummins with 2 cylinders dropped off of it. So they actually can make a good amount of power. So let's see. Actually, I think I missed a comment. You're in your low 60s and you love... Oh yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I love cars, I love trucks, and I love, like, one of the, I love, like, the old stuff especially. Like, the new stuff doesn't do anything much for me. Like, I don't really have too much of an interest going fuel injection. Like, I mean, I do, but I don't. As an example, like, I'd much rather deal with a carburetor, because I don't want to deal with all the problems the fuel injection can give you, right? So... You still use the oil, too, if you're too lazy to buy two-stroke oil? I mean, fair. That two-stroke design only need a regular oil mixed in, but those two strokes don't rev to, like, 12,000 RPM. Oh, yeah. They don't rev near as high. I mean, unless if you're a rotary, then that changes. Because rotaries are a two-stroke, and they fucking go to the moon, right? They just do. But, oh, Jesse deleted a message. What did he delete? Oh, he just deleted his second message. Okay, fair enough. What is my dream car? My absolute dream car is a 1970 Dodge Coronet Super B. Like, that is the one that I'd love to own, but I can't afford one. There's one for sale right now that's actually in pretty good shape. It's a Super B clone. But it has a 318 in it, so it's not really a proper clone, because it should have a 440 or 383. But regardless, 70 Coronet, it's 25 grand, which really is not that bad of a price for it. It's B5 blue, but it's faded, so, you know. And yeah, like, it's a 318 automatic, and I would drive the heck out of that car. It'd be a lot of fun, but I don't exactly have 25 grand lying around, right? Wish I did. Wish I did. Believe me. Your dream car is an all-wheel drive 96 through 2000 Civic with a billet B series block with a big turbo. Fair. Fair. I get that. I mean, that'd be badass, you know? But here's the question, Spank. How much power do you want your all-wheel drive billet B series with a big turbo to make? Because that's a big question for your dream car. You're trying to find an early model Monte Carlo that isn't, like, breaking the bank. I get that. Those are getting scarce. Very scarce. And yet, what's weird, they should have more value than they do, but they just don't have the popularity comparatively to, like, a Chevelle, right? Speed Factory just ran a 665 at 200 in the quarter in a U-Device Civic. Yeah. That is insane. Insane. 6 seconds in a friggin' Civic. Fuck. I think the fastest one, though, I want to say I dip it in the 5s, but I could be wrong with that. Could be wrong. Every time Cat streams, you run out of data? Hey! Well, I appreciate you. You know? You have a 77 Nova for sale. That's cool. What's the details on your Nova? Because there might be somebody interested. I know I can't afford it right now, but what's the details on your 77 Nova? Hey, there you go. Well, yeah, I mean, Jesse seems like he's always been into the kind of, like, trucks, 4x4, SUV sort of things. And, which is fine. Like, I mean, and the stuff you like is cool as hell, you know? I still love those, too. I just prefer my cars. That's all. You know, like, and granted, there's a lot of people that I talk to and know, like, their dream vehicles are trucks rather than cars. And that's fine. Like, and again, it doesn't bother me any, of course. Like, we're all human. We can like what we like. So, there's that. Yeah, but those 5 seconds are lighter tube chassis, not factory unibody, gutted with a roll cage. Oh, fair. Didn't think about that. That is still insane. You know, that's kind of like, one of those dumb records though, to be like, yeah, oh, this is the fastest, stock bottom end LS on the planet. It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, I don't understand those weird records. That one though, that just seems like a sketchy record to actually own with a factory unibody. Like, scary, scary. Well, and the scary part is, I know people who are younger than me that know even more than I do. It's scary, honestly. Kind of cool. And I love it, And that's why, like, I'll talk to some of these people that are younger, and just, I gotta be a little careful because, well, there could be accusations that get thrown around, as an example, if you're talking to somebody under the age of 18, right? So, I always gotta preface, like, it's just car shit. There's nothing else. I can show you all of my DMs and stuff. So, yeah. And say 350 put in a Nova about 10 years ago, rebuilt trans, original paint, soft leather, here in Tennessee. Ah, okay. Cool. I mean, what are you asking for your 77 Nova? You want your dually to be one I can hook chains to a frame and drag other vehicles around parking lot? I mean, you'll be able to do that easily with that truck. Easily. If you were getting a car, it'd be, a Mark III. Yeah. Well, also, the fun part about a Mark III? They're actually fast cars. Like, that's genuinely a big boat of a car that'll do, like, a 15-second quarter mile. Like, it's a 460 that they say 360 horsepower. Realistically, it's closer to about 500 horse. And it makes, like, 700 foot-pounds of torque. And the thing is an absolute riot to drive. Like, hell yeah. Big boat of a car that, shouldn't go fast, but it does. It's great. It's great. They're just so damn heavy. Oh, yeah. Well, it's kind of like the T-Bird, the 78 Bird, right? That car, great car. But it's so damn slow because of how heavy it is. Like, the car is over it's like 16 and a half, 17 feet long, give or take. Oh, no, the thing is, they're advertised at 360 horsepower. But they were underrated by far. Like, they were well over 4 at the very least with those 460s in those cars. Like, because people have dyno tested them and they've said, yeah, they made, I think it was like, what was it, like 390 or 400 wheels, something like that. So, pretty cool. Big block and gears are great. Oh yeah, they are. They are. Like, because that T-Bird has a 400 modified in it, right? Doesn't make a lot of power. I think they made like 160 horse or so. Again, not fast. It's a torquey little thing though, but I can't even get it to do a burnout. That has to do with the gearing probably. Like, if it had, instead of 223 highway gears, if it had like, say, like even a 273, that thing would probably burn some rubber. But till then. Yeah, exactly. With a Dovehead 460s. But then also, like, if you want a, I always tell people, you want to build a freaking big block and do it, like, you want your best bang for your buck for a big block. Well, easiest thing to do is start with a 460, but do like a late 70s 460 because you can basically get them for damn near free. Like, any junkyard, you'll find a 460 in some Lincoln or Grand Marquis or even a truck, right? So rip that out. Of course, you refresh it and stuff like that. You do what you would normally do. But the heads, swap the heads out for 429 heads. So that bumps the compression to, I believe it's 11 to 11.5 to 1 on that. And then swap out the timing chain for a nice double roller. Throw a cam in it, and bam, you're making close to 500 horse. Or even a little bit more than that. Like, It's really that easy to do with a 460. You can do the same thing with the 454 too. But you know, it's just you'll need to go like aftermarket heads as opposed to like just standard 459 heads. But it's pretty cool though. And just the problem is like big box Chevys, they've been priced out of the market, right? Or 460 you can still pick up fairly cheap. So that's why you're looking for a money. Oh wait. So you like your G bodies, but I thought you meant like first gen money. If it's a G body Monte Carlo, that's a little easier, right? You'll flip the lid for the extra horsepower. I mean, that does work actually. That's the funny thing, because finally somebody did a video on flipping their air cleaner lid to actually make more power on the dyno. It's pretty funny. It made, I think it was 7 extra horsepower. Well, yeah, I mean, and yeah, I mean, like a 307 wasn't exactly like a super powerful engine by any stretch, but it could be fun, you know. Could be fun. Because yeah, like I said, there was a like a YouTube video that guys did where they flipped the air cleaner lid upside down on a small block Chevy and it gained 7 wheel horsepower. It's like, fuck. But it's understandable though. Like, here's the thing: you also want, like, you could do the same thing just by taking the air cleaner off. That's how I made 100 wheel horsepower on the car. I just took the air cleaner completely off the car for my dyno run. Because again, if you're just doing quick dyno runs, that's fine. You know, I wouldn't recommend running it like that. I wouldn't really recommend like you flipping the air cleaner lid either, running it down the street like that. Because for one, oh my god, does flipping the air cleaner lid make it loud as hell? Because it does. It has like an amplifying effect on your carburetor. And you know, like I remember doing that when Stitch still had the 1-barrel on it. I flipped the air cleaner lid just to see, and I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. You know, it was just way too effing loud. So I put it back. And then I swapped it up for a 2-barrel anyways. So, yeah. And your dream car is a 69 Nova with a 572 big block? Fun. Fun. Into your car? Well, you know the interesting thing? The very interesting thing is that your carburetor kind of acts like an intercooler. It's kind of weird. Injection doesn't do this, but the way that the Venturi effect happens in a carburetor, it actually like gets the carb cold, right? And it's kind of cool. And that's why, like, as an example, guys that do draw-through turbos, you know, like a draw-through turbo setup with a carburetor, they don't ever run an intercooler because they don't have to. The carburetor itself acts as the intercooler. It's pretty cool. Try driving a van without the engine cover and no air cleaner across town. I'll pass on that. I'll pass. Thank you. But yeah. And hey, no worries there, Austin. Appreciate you coming out. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And catch you soon, kid. Peace out. You had to do that when you got your motorhome? That's a big old rip. Even blow through will cool the air a bit. It will a little bit. Draw through is a lot better for it. But yeah, blow through will too. You're not wrong. I am cold. Well, I'm not cold, but I am tired. But let's see. Because, okay. Getting a little low on that. You know what, though? I'm thinking, though, I got stuff I gotta do here. I admittedly was gonna do that after my TikTok live, and then I didn't, so now I'm regretting it. But I think I'm gonna end the live here though, because it's almost 1 a.m. and I do need to sleep, but then I also need to like do a little bit of cleaning around here too, because I have a plumber coming by tomorrow to check out my my hot water tank. So I don't have any hot water right now, so it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. But wait a minute. You found the magazine, you were wrong. It was a 12-valve Cummins that the guy put in. It has a narrow Ford 9-inch, 355 gears, and a 4-speed auto. Jesus Christ, on a fucking quad? That is insane. That is insane. No. No. That's not okay. That's not okay. Like, just, no. That's scary shit. But yeah, anyways, appreciate you all tuning in. You guys were awesome. Thank you, Jesse, for your moderating skills. Not that we needed it very much in the chat, but appreciate that. Everybody, take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful sleep. And you'll see videos from me hopefully soon. So, peace out.